It's not often you meet a 21-year-old with his own autonomous drone weapons manufacturing facility, but this is Ethan Thornton, and right now he is rethinking the future of warfare with China top of mind.
It's not hard to look at China's dominance and realize that we need to be working very, very hard as a country if we want to maintain relevance.
And while China has been putting on quite the show of military might, when it comes to scale, Thornton imagines a very different alternative than the high-tech, sophisticated U.S. arsenal that we're all used to.
One of your missions seems to be trying to imagine what warfare is going to look like, not in 10 years, but in 20 years. You're 21, so that's literally a lifetime for you, and yet not too far down the road. How do you see the future of warfare in 20 years?
To me, what's most concerning is you can look at ultra large-scale strike with very, very cheap assets. So if you can find a way to get very small, like $400 to $1,000 drones by the millions above populated areas.
Let me just try to visualize that. So millions of these very low-cost drones descending over a populated area.
What you'll see it used for is taking out all of your cell phone towers, taking out all of your high voltage power transformers, taking out your cranes and ports, like essentially just stopping your industrial machine.
His company, Mach Industries, received a Pentagon development contract and has already raised hundreds of millions of dollars to think outside the military-industrial box. And that means churning out as many cheap, deadly drones as possible. The kinds of systems that have transformed the modern battlefield in places like Ukraine. But before drones ruled the skies, Thornton remembers watching the opening moments of the invasion in high school and realizing warfare was about to change forever.
You have very, very legacy assets, convoy of tanks all rolling basically single file. And now there's this class of weapons that you can use to pretty much immobilize those things immediately.
But when it comes to manufacturing drones, there is no country that comes close to China, currently able to build hundreds of thousands of drones every month.
If we're making a quadcopter and China's making the same quadcopter, we'll lose that fight 10 times out of 10.
For him, if Chinese manufacturing is their greatest advantage, it should be the biggest target. And his focus has been finding ways to try and quickly flood adversarial skies with cheap autonomous weapons.
It's a high-altitude dropped, long-range glide bomb.
He calls this project Glide.
With one glide, you can take that factory out of operation for 3 to 6 months. So let's say you're taking 3 million quadcopters out of the fight with one glide. And that's really the asymmetric offset you're looking to provide.
The specific details of Glide are still secret, but Thornton did show us prototypes of Viper.
You and I could go and set up hundreds of these things in a parking lot somewhere.
Think portable Hellfire missiles, but with more payload that can both take off and land if needed.
It'll come in essentially a plastic case. That case will open up and become the launch stand.
And one of the highest flying ideas being workshopped at Mach, Stratus, built around an old and inexpensive kind of tech, balloons.
I think in future conflicts, we will see hundreds of thousands all the way up to like tens of millions.
Tens of millions of balloons.
Some will be carrying sensors, some will be carrying communications, some will be carrying like decoys to get you to waste your air defenses.
So saying, hey, yeah, come shoot these down. It's going to cost you a pretty penny to get up here.
Exactly.
Mach Industries is just one of a whole new field of defense startups hoping to transform the defense industry. For over half a century, companies like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and Raytheon have made up the backbone of next-gen U.S. air defense and missile capability. But today, Mach and disruptors like Anduril are focusing all their efforts on laying the groundwork to mass-produce deadly autonomous systems from land, sea, and sky.
The way I see future defense looking is actually a lot more like the automotive industry, where every year you're essentially coming out with new models. These things are being refreshed on a 6-month to year-long cadence as warfare changes, and then your timelines for development are months instead of decades, but hopefully even weeks.
He's hoping soon they'll have factories like this one spread out by the thousands.
Yes, I think a big thing for us is decentralization, is designing products that you can make in very rudimentary, very small facilities. You don't want one factory that if you go to war, gets taken out and you lose your industrial base.
Big plans for a new kind of mass production. And for the 21-year-old who dropped out of MIT to start building all this, the future is coming faster than we think.
I'm actually very optimistic in the military doing the right things to procure the right systems. And so we're way behind right now as a country. That gap is widening every day, and it's kind of a make or break next couple decades.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.